Hey guys, welcome back. Today I've got tons of cleaning motivation for you. My house is a mess and I'm going to also be doing some deep cleaning. So if you need some motivation, I've got you covered in this video. This is also going to be a podcast style video. So I'm going to be sharing a viewer submitted spooky story. And this one takes place in Hawaii. So you guys submitted stories for me, I believe way earlier in the year. And I'm just now getting to it, but I felt like now was the perfect time with it being Halloween week. So if you like a good spooky story, definitely stay tuned. You can enjoy the satisfying before and after cleaning shots on the screen and hang out with me. You can either sit back and relax and enjoy the podcast, or you can put me up on the TV and clean along while you listen to my voice. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Hey guys, welcome. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to go ahead and get started by using my Odoban, and I've got some hot water here. I needed to deep clean and soak my vac mop container and like all the components. So this is one way I do it. Another way I do it, probably my favorite way, is to spray it with hypochlorous acid. That really removes any odors, but basically, I just spray it with really hot water, sometimes with dish soap, and then I let it soak in one of those two things. But today I was trying the Odoban. So we're going to go ahead and get that started. Hey, you guys need to let me know. Somebody commented this and I didn't know what she was talking about. I thought she probably meant that she was talking about the like button, but then when I was looking on YouTube, I saw where it said hyped, and she had said that she hyped my video, and I thought she just meant she thumbs upped it. But apparently there's a new feature where you can hype my video. You guys are gonna have to let me know. I don't really watch YouTube, so I don't see these new things like you do. Let me know if you see a hyped button, and does it let you hype? Like, what does it mean? Tell me. And if it's there for you, hey, go ahead and hype this video. Okay, so we are just a few days away from Halloween. So with that being said, a few months ago, probably like 6 months ago, I'm sorry guys, my life has been crazy. I asked you guys to submit some spooky stories, and I did get a few submissions, and I am so sorry that it has taken me so long. I'm getting to it today, and I do feel like this week is the perfect week because we are in the spooky vibe with Halloween coming up. By the way, just ignore that pile of laundry. I am so bad about doing my own laundry. I get everybody else's done, put away, but mine, I never do. I hate doing my own laundry. I don't know why that is. I suck at it. I'm just a failure when it comes to my own laundry, but the rest of the house is clean and everybody else's laundry is clean. I will get to it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with the spooky story. I'm just going to be reading it off, and if I mispronounce anything, please just know that I can't talk right. This story happened to me when I was 9 years old and in the 4th grade. At the time, me and my older brother were living with my uncle. The home my uncle was living in was an old plantation home in, I'm going to probably butcher this, but Kaimuki Palolo in Honolulu, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. Am I saying that right? I'm so sorry. Hawaii used to produce a lot of sugarcane and pineapple for export to sell in the old days. I want to start off this story with saying I always felt uncomfortable and extremely afraid going to sleep at night in that home. I always felt like I was being watched, and I remember crying and begging my uncle and brother to stay in the room with me because I was so afraid of being alone in the room by myself. The home was a 2-bedroom house with a Jack and Jill bathroom that connected the 2 bedrooms. Every morning, my uncle would wake me up early to get ready for school first. One morning, as I was getting dressed, I was midway putting on my tank top as I stared into the uncle's bedroom, or my uncle's bedroom, while sitting on my bed when an old lady appeared in the doorframe of the room. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. She was old with gray white hair up in a bun. She had on a long, dark blue dress with long sleeves and black boots, little heeled black boots. She was extremely hunched back and staring at the floor as she walked across the doorframe of their room and disappeared out of view. I froze in fear and asked God not to have her look at me or I would die. Same girl, same. I stood frozen for how long in utter terror. I eventually worked up the courage to move and go to the room and look around. She was gone, and my uncle and brother remained alive and asleep in their beds. That morning, as my uncle was driving us to school, I told them of the old lady and what I saw. They did not believe me initially. That was the first and last time I saw the old lady, but other creepy things did happen in that home while we were staying there. In the living room, my uncle had 2 fish tanks on a rack near the front door of the house. The crawfish would jump out of the tank sometimes, and we'd find them around the house dead and dried up. I would like to know how one of the creepy crawfish ended up under my bed in the furthest corner of the house. I was so grossed and creeped out. We also found one in the kitchen, also at the end of the house. The kitchen was on the other side of the wall to the room I was staying in. Another thing to note is I would hear walking around the kitchen and the house at late hours of the night, but I assumed it was just my uncle. I kept all the doors closed to the living room and a shared bathroom when I went to sleep at night. Okay, so that was super spooky and kind of weird that you only saw it once, but also very thankful for that. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments, have you had an experience or have you not? Let me know either way. I personally have not had anything that I can't explain away. I won't say I haven't had things happen, but I feel like I can come up with a logical explanation for those things. I've never had anything super creepy happen, and I hope that I don't ever, because I seriously think that I would die of a stroke or a heart attack. I am not built for that. If I saw anything in my house, that would be the last time I stepped foot in my house. I cannot deal, seriously. So let me know, are you a believer? Are you not a believer? Have you had an experience like this, or have you never had an experience like this? Let us know in the comments below. By the way, when is the last time you deep cleaned your doors? If you have panels like this, then you know the little panels collect all of the dust, and then it like dries in there and it's really hard to get off. But I do recommend cleaning your doors at least once a month, especially around the handles, because that tends to get dirty. And then if you have animals, especially dogs, you will get their little nose prints and their paw prints from when they want to come in rooms. At least mine do. So here's your reminder to wipe down your doors. And also, I've talked about this before, but you would be surprised about all of the things in your home that can hold on to odor, doors being one. So any surface can hold on to like cooking odors or any sort of bacteria that you have in your air. It can cling to all things, walls, doors, curtains, blinds, floors, all the things, not just couches and linens and curtains and things like that. So just keep that in mind. And also, don't forget to wipe down your light switches. It is 6 season. That is something I would personally get in the habit of doing right now, is wiping down doorknobs and remotes and light switches. I just showed you a quick before of the vacuum canister, because I always think it's really satisfying to do a before and after to see how much you pick up in your carpet. I love vacuuming carpet. I kind of like having carpet, but I also kind of hate it because it holds on to odors. It gets so dirty so fast. It's a lot harder to clean. It's not good for allergies, but it's soft and it's fun to vacuum. So it's a love-hate relationship. Let's go ahead and get into our next spooky story. And I'm reading this for the first time with you guys. My story happened 7 years ago when our younger sister passed away from pancreatic cancer. I'm so sorry, by the way. She was an amazing and beautiful 38-year-old with a 5-year-old son and an 8-month-old baby girl. That is so sad. It was gut-wrenching. She was 15 years younger than me, so she kind of felt like mine. After her funeral, I came home and went to bed for days. Do not blame you, seriously. That is so sad, and I'm so sorry. One morning, I woke up crying uncontrollably. My black lab Bella was laying with me. I had my back to the bedroom door. This is for context. Anyway, I heard footsteps coming down the hallway. Bella stood up on the bed but didn't move or make a sound. The footsteps came into our bedroom by our bed. I felt who I thought was my husband rubbing my back and my back soothing me as I cried. My arm in my back, soothing me as I cried. All the while, Bella just stood by me. I didn't look up or move. I was mad at the world. The footsteps then left our bedroom, back down the hallway, and that was it. I called out to my husband wondering why he came back home from work. No answer. I called his phone to ask him why he came home. He said, "What are you talking about?" By the way, I have full body chills right now and I'm also choked up and feel like I want to cry. He said, "What are you talking about? I wasn't home." After thinking about it, I didn't hear the kitchen door open or the garage door close. It was at that moment I knew who it was. It was my sister. It had to have been her. She didn't want anyone crying when she passed. She wanted to be remembered for who she was. My sisters agreed with me that Mindy came to comfort me, even though she was so much younger than me. That's just how she was. A true, caring, amazing young woman. A beautiful soul, a beautiful angel. I'm not gonna cry. I miss you every day, Mindy, and I'm so glad you came to see me one more time, baby sister. That is so sad. That's not even spooky, okay? I told you I was reading that for the first time with you guys. It's not spooky, it's gut-wrenching. That is such a sad story, and I am so sorry for the loss of your sister. But I am thankful that you did have that moment. I feel like that could be so comforting and you could take that with you moving forward for sure. And I've heard so many people talk about having a loved one come back and comfort them after they have passed. I will say one weird thing that happens to me is I will have family members that have passed away come to me in dreams. And it's not like a normal dream where I just dream about them in like the sense of like a story, like a normal dream. You're kind of just dreaming like, I don't know, you're seeing like a movie play in your head. It's like they show up and they just smile and they're just there. And I just know that they're there to say hi. And I get this overwhelming sense of calm and peace. And we just kind of smile at each other and there's just a knowing, and then they're gone. And then I remember it the next day, which I only half remember my dreams. But anyways, that's the only weird thing that kind of happens to me. And I do find it very comforting. It's very, very random. That being said, I actually did think of something spooky that happens to me. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. I'm going to get into that in just a minute, but I want to quickly talk about what you're seeing on screen. This is my robot vacuum. Look how absolutely disgusting and filthy this is. If you have a robot vacuum, you best be cleaning it because this is what it looks like if you don't. And I clean mine pretty regularly and they do a lot of work for me. So in their defense, but it's absolutely disgusting. But I will say, I actually enjoy cleaning it. It's so satisfying and fun. I don't mind cleaning it at all. So this is how I do it. If you want to see, I did that. That's the filter. Oh, I tried to wash it and save it. And I ended up tossing it, you guys, and putting a brand new one in. I did order on Amazon. You can order like a kit of accessories that comes with like mop pads, a brush roller, filters, the little brushes that go under, like all the things you can buy. And so I keep like a bag of those and I do replace those frequently. Okay, so the creepy thing that does happen to me, and this is on a regular basis, and this is very personal. So I don't know. I feel like this is probably the first time I'm sharing this with you guys because it is very personal. But anywho, here we go. So I don't know if you've ever heard of night terrors before. There's nightmares and then there's night terrors. I have night terrors. They are most commonly seen in children. However, I have had them for, I don't know, I want to say probably like at least a decade. So well into my adult life. And I only remember having them in our last house and in this house. And this is really creepy, so I am warning you. And if you have kids, do not let them listen to this because it's actually terrifying. Okay, so a night terror. How is that different from a nightmare? So a nightmare is just a bad dream, right? You might wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, that was terrible. That was a horrible dream. A night terror is where you wake up, but you can still see what you were seeing in the dream and you're paralyzed. And it's very, very real. And so it's kind of what actually is happening, I think, is that you're just kind of semi-awake. You haven't reached full consciousness. So I'm not really sure, but I will say that I'm fully awake, eyes open, and I can still see what I'm seeing in the dream. And it's always the same thing. And we will get to that. So basically, I see a man standing at the edge of my bed. Now, I will say when this very first started, it was in our other house. He was standing in the corner of the room. I would wake up, I would see him. It was just a dark, shadowy figure. I would see him. I would scream. My husband, if he was there at the time, or because sometimes, he does deploys in the military. If he was there, he would wake me up and I would usually go immediately back to sleep. Hold, please, I have a child needing me. But the way that would go is that every time I would dream it, and this is like months and months would go by, maybe like 2 to 3 times a year. But the next time I would see him, he would be a little bit closer. And then he'd be a little bit closer. And then he'd be a little bit closer until he was at the edge of the bed. And I thought, how is this going to go? Like, what's going to happen once and the edge of the bed is pretty dang close. What's going to happen next? And then we ended up moving. So now we're in the house that we're in now. And I still have the same night terror, but the man does change a little bit. It's still usually just a shadowy figure. He did again start out in the corner and move closer each time. But the last time that I had one was probably the most horrific one, and I'm still not recovered from it. But the last time I had one, he was in the corner, but this time his face was green, kind of like glowing green. And when I woke up and saw him, he ran at me, like charged at me. And I'm like getting teary-eyed and everything telling you guys this. I woke up screaming bloody murder, or I was awake. I don't know how to explain it, but I sat up. I was screaming bloody murder. My husband could not console me. Honestly, my heart and my chest hurt so bad when I have these night terrors that it genuinely scares me that I'm going to have a heart attack. I really struggled to get back to sleep that time. It really sat with me. I feel like I laid there awake for an hour. I was scared to go back to sleep. But yeah, that's like the spookiest thing that's happened to me and continues to happen to me. I wish it would go away. I have not noticed any like correlation between my diet, show, or a movie I'm watching beforehand. The only thing that I've researched that it could be is like stress, which I definitely tend to stress and worry more than the average person. I'm a stressor, I'm a worrier, I'm a pessimist, all of the things. And I worry over everything. I have anxiety. So I wouldn't say that when I have them, I'm like more stressed than the average person would be. I mean, I have normal stresses just like any of us have. So I don't feel like it's really related to stress. Because like right now I'm really stressed. I have a lot going on. I said that in last video. I've got a lot going on and I haven't had one, thankfully, and hopefully I don't. So I don't know what it is. I have no idea. If you have night terrors, let me know. Or if you know someone or you know anything about it, let's discuss it. Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it, because I have never known anyone else like me and it sucks. And I will say another point that I want to bring to this. When I was a child, so the night terrors started as an adult. When I was a child, I sleptwalked all of the time. I can remember waking up in random places. I remember waking up standing in front of the fireplace. I remember waking up, I went to my mom's room and I stood in the doorway, which I know scared the crap out of her. And I remember her coming to me and saying, "What is it?" And I said, "You're home." And I wrapped my arms around her. I have no idea what that was about. I remember my stepdad telling me that he would find me standing in front of the fireplace and I'd be like, "No way, you're lying. Like, that's not possible. What are you talking about?" So they would find me doing that. I remember I had a baby gate in my room to keep my little sister out. And I would somehow manage to take my big giant comforter and step over the gate and go into the living room and be on the couch. I'd wake up on the couch. No idea how I got there. I can't remember much more than that. I just remember I did sleepwalk a lot as a child. Thankfully, I don't sleepwalk as an adult. That is actually terrifying. And thankfully my kids don't sleepwalk, and thankfully they don't have night terrors. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Have you experienced this? Let's talk about it. Okay, guys, I looked up what is the YouTube hype feature that I was talking about. It says hype lets viewers show extra support for newer videos from smaller emerging creators, those that have 500 to 500,000 subscribers. When someone hypes a video, they're essentially giving it points, which help the video climb a leaderboard of most hyped videos in their country. The video has to be uploaded within the last 7 days. I have to be within that subscriber range, and you guys can hype up to 3 videos per week for free. Small creator bonus. The fewer subscribers a creator has, the higher the bonus multiplier for hypes, meaning smaller creators get a relative boost. Since you create YouTube content, hype could be very beneficial if your channel meets the eligibility, which it does. It gives you the mechanism to rally your audience actively. You can ask them, if you love this one, type hype. Okay, so guys, if you love this one, tap hype. And it says it may help your content get discovered by new viewers, which is cool. And yeah, it basically just gives you a boost. So if you do see that hype button, let me know. I'm curious. And also, please click it for me. I really appreciate it. I have one more viewer submitted story. Again, I am reading this for the first time with y'all, so bear with me. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And it says that I'm Julie, and I sent you a message before through YouTube to say hello, and I just wanted to share a story with you. It says she has one that comes to mind. Some may say it's creepy, and others may see it as something else. Okay, you've got me curious. Almost 20 years ago, I'm 41 now. My boyfriend at the time, but my husband now, were living together in our home in a subdivision surrounded by lots of heavily wooded trees and land. Our home was directly in the middle of our land and was not seen very clearly from the road. So that was scary in itself. As some young couples go through, we bickered constantly where he would end up leaving me alone. I know, right? So nice of him. Haha. I was usually the one. I would go sit out in my car. By the way, I'm going off on a side quest here, but quick story. One time we had an argument in our apartment. There was really nowhere to go in a little apartment, so I went and sat in my car, was listening to music, and the girl that lived on the bottom apartment beneath us, she had some enemies, okay, because somebody came and sliced all 4 of her tires right next to me. I remember seeing them do it and not even knowing what was happening, and then just hearing the hissing of the air leaving the tires. Back to the story. But one night, he never came home. I was without a vehicle, and for some reason, I don't think we had cells at the time, so it may have been longer than 20 years. But I know I couldn't use the home phone to call my parents in the middle of the night or call my aunt and uncle who lived behind us, but through so much woods. Maybe the phone was disconnected. I can't remember. Young and dumb, as I should say, but I still don't know why to this day. Young love, I guess. And I worried about my boyfriend. I stupidly decided to walk to my parents' house at around 3 a.m. Girl, I could not have ever. You are brave. It was very, very far away through a huge subdivision with lots of land and acres and down the highway. I purposely dressed masculine with a hoodie and baggy jeans. Okay, you're restoring some of my faith in you, okay? That was a good idea. Hoping that this would make others not kidnap me. I decided to go through the backwoods of my house to my aunt and uncle's and see if I could wake my younger cousin by knocking on her window. Oh gosh, did you not scare her to death? I had heard so many stories about those particular woods through the years as a kid, but I was desperate to find my boyfriend. We have to hold again, please, because here, let me see. I have a 5-year-old and he just absolutely cannot leave me alone for more than 2 seconds. I have to open this Reese cup. All right, sorry guys. Let's see. Okay, I had heard so many stories about those particular woods through the years as a kid, but I was desperate to find my boyfriend. I walked slowly through the woods just waiting for something to come out and get me. It was cold and dark, but a calm and quiet night that made it even creepier. My anxiety was through the roof. I walked so slowly, but at the same time I wanted to run, but thought that if I did, then something would definitely hear me and get me. I finally reached my aunt and uncle's house, knocking softly and repeatedly on the window of my cousin's, but she never came to it. You probably scared her too, girl. I was hoping to use her home phone to call my parents so I wouldn't have to walk, and I was scared to wake my aunt and uncle up, so I just kept knocking on her window. I waited and waited, but nothing. I decided to head off walking since I needed to find out where and who my boyfriend may be with. As I started walking to the road, I noticed a man coming from the front lawn of my aunt's next door neighbor house, and he started walking towards my direction behind me. No phone, no way to protect myself. I fiercely grabbed my keys, which all I had, and held them between my knuckles as he was now walking behind me, but at some distance. I immediately turned around and shouted, "What are you doing?" He looked startled and replied, "What are you doing? Why are you walking by yourself?" For some odd reason, I felt a calmness overcome me, and I told him I was looking for my boyfriend. He said that I shouldn't be walking late at night by myself and that it wasn't safe, and I told him I knew but was worried and walking to my parents. He told me he would walk with me to make sure I was safe. As we walked and walked and walked, we started talking about my relationship and everything else, and he listened. I don't know why, but I felt a comfort and just somehow knew that he wasn't going to hurt me. I can't explain it. After the very long walk through turns and long roads, we approached an intersection. If I took a right, it would head to my parents' house out of the subdivision, which was then close to where I was going. He asked if I would be okay, and I said yes and thanked him for walking with me. He told me to be safe, and I said yes. I turned around to start the end of the walk, and for some reason, I immediately turned back around to him, and he was gone. Okay, immediate goosebumps. I kind of felt like this is where the story was going. Nowhere to be seen, just vanished. It was quick. It was just a quick second of me turning around, and nowhere at the intersection was he to be found. I told myself I knew I wasn't crazy, and I knew he was walking with me, but where the heck did he go? I then ran to my parents' house, grabbed their spare key and the back door, and walked in the house. My father, being a light sleeper, woke up, and I told him everything. He reprimanded me for my ignorance, as he should. My mom awoke as well, and she decided to drive me to my boyfriend's mother's house to see if he was there, and I found my car parked in the driveway. Okay, we're being interrupted again. I told you I can't get more than a couple of minutes without him needing me. That's why working from home is a blessing and a curse, because when you have kids, they need you every 5 seconds, and you just can't get anything done. What should take me maybe an hour takes me 3 because I keep getting interrupted. Okay, let me see if I can find my place back here. Even though he wasn't at our home, I knew he was safe. I was very upset, but I knew he was safe and I was safe. I was able to get to him, and I told him my long story, but with his narcolepsy and being late at night, he was asleep. So I ended up retelling the story to myself, still confused by what happened. Where was the man that walked that long walk with me? No way could he have just disappeared. 20 some odd years later, still together with my now husband and 3 children, I have since told him the story when I could catch him awake, and he was just as curious and confused as I was. Every time he ticks me off, though, I remind him of my long walk at 3 a.m. in the complete dark, through the woods and long roads with my guardian angel. I make sure to remind him that he can't say I don't love him. So to all those who may feel alone when we are down, we are never alone. Disclaimer, she says, no one please attempt to do what I did. I agree. No one ever do that. And she says, thanks for letting me share my story. And thank you for sharing it so much. That was definitely on the creepy side, but also like on the cool side, but I think leans far creepier. Does anybody have a guardian angel story? You guys are going to want to make sure that you stay tuned for the behind the scenes in this video because they are pretty funny. I was having a time. Okay, I was having a time with these blinds. These blinds right now that you see, they're broken. I don't know why they will not stay up. So I had to tie them to the oven, but I made it work. But yeah, definitely stay tuned because behind the scenes are coming. And if you're new, I always do behind the scenes at the end of the video. They're usually pretty funny, but it's just kind of like the reality of what's going on behind the voiceover and the perfectly edited clips. So I'm trying to get through this video voiceover. This is a 43-minute long video. This is a long video, guys. I haven't done one this long in a really long time. So if you're still with me, thank you so much for still being here. I hope you're enjoying the story times. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I think that was my only submissions for that. And hopefully I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I am so sorry. I did not mean to intentionally leave you out. But I did enjoy reading y'all's stories. I thought this was really fun. You guys will have to let me know if you like this. We can do a different topic. We can do it again. Just let me know. You can also give me some topics to talk about in upcoming videos if you want. I'm more than happy for any suggestions. I always feel like the hardest part of these videos for me is just coming up with good ideas to talk about and things to talk about. I just feel, I've said this 100 times, but I feel like I'm such a boring person, but that's not the feedback that I get from you all, which does make me feel good. So thank you. But yeah, I just feel like I don't have that much interesting things going on in my life. By the way, those are what's left of my witch's brew Alani knew there on the counter. And I can't remember if we've come to the clip yet or not where I was counting them to see how many I have left. And listen to this. This is something sweet I just thought of on the spot. My middle daughter, she is 10. Whenever I got the witch's brew and I put them in the fridge, She said, I'm going to take a couple of these and hide them in the garage fridge. That way, when you finish your last one in here in the fridge and you think it's your last one, surprise, you have 2 more out in the garage fridge. And I thought that was the funniest and cutest thing. And sure enough, she did, because I found them in the garage fridge the other day. Also, I am going to be doing a, not really a grocery haul kind of, you'll see what I picked up from the grocery store. I just did like a quick midweek. I was out of a few things. And last week I asked for lunchbox recommendations and somebody recommended the Chomps. They're like beef jerky, but a healthier version. And I got them on your recommendation and my son loves them. They're actually very good. I like them too. But my son loves them. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have been putting them in his lunch and I feel good about it because it's protein. So I'm really happy about that. They are expensive though. I don't love that. I need to look at Sam's Club and see if they have a better deal, but it's like $18 and some change for, I think, 14 sticks, which is crazy to me. But all grocery prices are crazy to me. I guess I've been blessed enough in my life, except for maybe when I was like much, much younger. I've talked about that before. When we were very first married, we were dirt poor. But as we've gotten older, I've been very blessed to not really have to pay attention to the price of things. And recently I've caught myself having to do that because it's like insane, the price of things. And so I definitely try to purchase a lot of like store brand things like Great Value. I love Great Value things and I love Food Lion's brand as well. But I definitely will do I'll do the Walmart brand butter over Land of Lakes. And there's a lot, like it's a big difference at the end of the day, but my grocery bill has been so high and I just feel like at the end of it, I have to go through everything I have in my cart and be like, okay, we don't really need this. We don't really need this. We don't really need this because it's so insanely high. And with the government shutdown, I just feel so bad for the families that are going to be affected by that. And I know we were definitely scared as a military family, but thankfully we did get paid. I'm hoping we get paid this week. We're supposed to get paid. Hopefully we get paid. They supposedly found a way to pay us again this week. I sure hope so. I mean, what a time to be shut down right before the holidays. Everything is so expensive. The world is crazy right now. Don't even get me started. But anyways, as I was doing the fridge, I was just thinking about that. And the fridge has got to be my least favorite chore. Yes, even more so than laundry. And I hate it. I hate cleaning out the refrigerator. So after I clean it though, I love it. It looks so good. And I'm like, okay, fam, listen up. I cleaned this today and I don't enjoy it. So let's work really hard. Let's work together to keep it clean for a little bit. Let's just a couple of weeks let me have a clean fridge. And they do not. They do not. They immediately do not. But I've been really trying to go in there behind them and kind of undo what they do. But I hate cleaning the fridge. It's just the worst. It really is. I don't know why. It's just not my favorite chore. All right, my daughter is about to be home from school. I've got groceries being delivered. I've got to get ready for basketball practice tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and end this voiceover now. Don't click out yet though, because behind the scenes are still coming. There's a few more clips of me getting this refrigerator cleaned and getting this kitchen cleaned, and then it'll be behind the scenes, and then that will be it. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you see that hype button, hype me up, guys. Help a girl out. I hope everyone has a safe and fun Halloween, and I will see you guys in my next video. I thought I was off the hook, but I forgot. I still have that recipe coming that I talked to you guys about. It's called Pigs in a Blanket. Some of you may have heard of it. Some of you may not, but it's great for like football. If you're watching football on Sunday, it's great for after school. It's great for really any time. Super easy to make. So you will be hearing my voice again in a few minutes coming up. I'm not totally off the hook yet. So I thought I was, but I've got a little bit more work to do, and then I could go back into being a mom and doing the housewife stuff. It never ends, you guys know.
I've seen those faces, I've heard all the lies, but you ain't on someone in denial. 'Cause you want dollar bills right now, but you gotta work real hard. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, 'cause you can make it too. If not says who, yeah, you can make it too. If not says who, you can make it. You had great patience, but something knocked you out. You felt your limitations and filled your mind with doubt. You wanna stay chill right now and don't let your eyes off the prize. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, 'cause you can make it too. If not says who, yeah, you can make it too. If not says who, you can make it. And I said, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, 'cause you can make it too. If not says who, yeah, you can make it too. If not says who, you can make it. If not says who, yeah, you can make it too. If not says who, you can make it.
How did we end up here in the corner looking like enemies? We used to be the team people talk about, what a chemistry. I can see it in your eyes. You don't wanna talk anymore. I wanna get so numb while we enemies. No, you don't mind the way I stutter my words. You know exactly what it means and how it hurts. Oh, I can't believe you're here. Can't get any worse. No, no. I just wanna get out of here. I find it so hard to breathe. 'Cause when you get too close, I lose my way and I freeze. I wish you knew.
Okay, I'm just gonna power through this part. You may hear some background noise, but these are called pigs in a blanket. You're just gonna need some crescent rolls and some little smokies. These are so easy to make. You are going to just open these up and unroll them. I always struggle with these cans. I hate them. There has to be a better way. But this one actually opened pretty easily, but I usually struggle a lot more than this. So you're just gonna get these out, unroll them all, and then you're gonna stick one little smoky in each. And I usually roll it from the big side to the small side. You can do it either way, I think, but that's the way I feel like works best. But I don't think it really matters. You can't really mess this up. You just roll it up and then you bake it in the oven per the crescent roll instructions. And like I teach my kids, I always start a little less and add time as I go if I need it, because every oven is different and you can always cook it a little more. You can't cook it less. So, anyways, these are my little recipe. Hopefully, you guys enjoy them. If you've never made them, definitely try them. They're so delicious. You could add cheese too if you wanted. That would be really, really good. You could also dip them in things. You could do whatever you want, but these are just how we do them, and my kids love them. We basically fight over them. So I should probably make a double batch. But, anyways, behind the scenes are coming, and I will see you guys next time.
But now it's so hard to breathe. You
for this? Oh, should I let it fit in there? Nope, it won't. There we go. Don't wipe your butt on the carpet, boy. I will get you. Hank, let Tucker outside. Open the back door and let Tucker outside, and then open the basement door and let Bailey outside. Yeah, let both dogs outside for me.
What is Princess doing? What is that Princess doing? You're such a sweet girl.
Oh my goodness, this just normally pops right out. What the heck? There we go. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. So, press and hold the latch to pull dustbin out. To pull, okay, that's to pull it out. How do you open it? How do you open it? Come on, Jess, you can figure this out. I know this is better come open somehow. How does this open? Oh. I think it goes like this. Oh my goodness. That's not right though. Why am I saying? Okay. Replace the dustbin insert. Replace the dustbin filter. Slide the dustbin in here. Yeah, but how do you open it? Is there a way to open it? Oh, I see. This. Oh! Okay.
Baby, what are you doing? What are you doing? You just chilling. You're such a pretty girl.
Is this the perfect color?
Yeah, it is. Okay, when she comes. Oh, man, that's really too. Kinsley has not been looking so backward.
Oh. Maybe.
Oh, that's disgusting.
There it is. Can I do that one?
Why does this still smell like what I cooked them in? I'm gonna let that soak in there for a sec.
Yeah.